It is a sixth tape. Another video has been released exposing Planned Parenthood's practice of selling body parts from babies it aborts. The group has maintained it donates fetal tissue for scientific research with, quote, full consent from patients. But on this new tape, a technician from a lab that collects the so-called donations says some are in fact stolen, with the mothers never told. A viewer warning, this is not suitable for children.
The environment, it's morbid. Like, you can feel it. You can hear screaming. You can hear crying. The coworkers I had, they would not consent the donors. If there was a higher gestation and the technicians needed it, there are times where they would just take what they wanted. And these mothers don't know. And there's no way they would know. Like, imagine if you were an abortion patient and someone was going in and stealing your baby's parts. And half of these women are already on edge as it is.
Planned Parenthood supporters on the left want nothing more for the scandal to go away. So in a desperate attempt to diffuse the controversy, their new strategy is to make a mockery of it with the help of Funny or Die.
I was pregnant when I first went to Planned Parenthood. They led me down a narrow hallway into a little room filled with medical instruments, and they gave me great advice for prenatal care.
Planned Parenthood overwhelms me with the ability to make my own choices.
Me, a woman.
Without having to ask my congressman.
It was horrifying.
After I asked who was paying for abortion services,
I was appalled to learn that it was privately funded.
and any government money has been going to contraceptives and family planning. Unbelievable.
Hilarious, right, Kimberly?
I mean, it's really just speechless when you see something like that. I don't think it's okay to make a mockery of women's health or of informed consent or of doing an investigation that is much needed. They are actually doing other women a disservice by trying to cover up the truth.
I agree. What do you think, Greg? I mean, satire is something that can work, but maybe not at this moment on this topic.
What can they do? I mean, they're in bed with the devil. It's called Funny or Die, but fetuses don't have that choice because they're already dead. It's a shame that Funny or Die didn't exist generations ago because they would have been great propagandists for Stalin. Besides, who decides at this point what's valuable and when? At 1 p.m., a fetus is not valuable, so you can abort it. At 1:30 p.m., the fetus is now valuable and can be used to save other babies that were lucky enough to cross the finish line. So how does this work? Fetal research is built on a mountain of immorality, and it's a shared immorality for all of us. And I think that's why, if you look at the media, there's like 0.008% of the media has been devoted to these videos. Right. That's less than Tom Brady. And it's simply because of guilt. We all feel a specific guilt that we are taking something that was once alive and using it to enhance our own lives. It's grotesque, but we accept it. And so does everybody else. If they were dolphins or if they were baby cubs, at least PETA would be upset.
It's true about the coverage. It's 0.008, and actually none of the videos have shown. Eric, you've actually watched all of the videos. Did you watch this one as well?
I did.
Reaction?
Again, I don't recommend doing it. It's life-changing and it's life-altering. It's horrible to watch. What changes between 1 and 1:30 p.m. is the demand for the part. We have a demand for XYZ part, and apparently now Planned Parenthood is now willing to go ahead and go after that part. And sometimes it's an intact fetus. So, look, the Funny or Die video, my comment on that is it's effective if you're in that frame of mind. But it's also wrong. A lot of things that they said on there were wrong, because you can't give $535 million to a group and say, it's only for that part of your business, even though you haven't separated the businesses, it's one business. So it's like putting money in your pocket. Whatever money you take out to pay for drugs, or if you pay for bread, it's your same pool of money. Stop giving them the money. Very quickly, sell at cost, they said they did. Then the video exposed that they weren't selling at cost. Remember, the lady was drinking wine saying, I need a Lamborghini. Then they said, we don't sell body parts. And then we saw the baby body parts in the Petri dish. And then they say full consent in their literature, and now we have another video that this proves that they don't ask for, sometimes they don't let the mother know fully aware, make them fully aware of what they're going to use with them. They're bad the abortion part of Planned Parenthood is bad. You got to stop them. Let them reopen as Planned Parenthood 2 and don't provide the services and then give them taxpayer money.
That's your opinion, dude. The Planned Parenthood is bad because you're against abortion. You said it was a life-altering. You said it was a life-altering experience.
Can you not do this
You
again
said it was
today?
a life-altering experience.
Can you not do this again today?
It's not a life-altering experience.
I'm not commenting on abortion,
You are talking about abortion.
I'm not. I'm commenting on selling body
what is a good
parts.
abortion to you? What's
Do you know
a good
the difference
abortion?
between what Planned Parenthood
What is a good abortion, Eric? What is it?
A good abortion,
is what?
It saves the mother's life.
You know what a good abortion is? A good abortion is in a clean place where the woman's health is protected, as opposed to a back alley, where the woman dies with some butcher cutting her to pieces. Why do you think we got this?
I'm not commenting on abortion,
Roe v. Wade and all the rest of it. This is baloney. You are This is all a plot to make abortion an issue, and it is just. Some people say Donald Trump is a stalking horse for Hillary Clinton. He's going to wreck the Republican Party because he has no chance of being elected. Abortion is another stalking horse for the Democrats. It fuels the whole war on woman thesis. It allows Democrats to say, see, the Eric Bollings of the world want to take away your right to choose.
Let me know.
That's what this does.
Once that I ever said that. Let me know once that I've ever commented on abortion. Not once have I. I've commented on the illegal practice of taking fetal body parts and selling them for a profit. 1, 2, Geraldo. 2 is illegal.
Abortion is ugly. It's ugly, and Greg is right to the extent that we don't want to think about it. We don't want to think about it. We don't want to think about it. We don't think about what this actually entails. But the majority of the American people want adult women to have the right to choose whether to terminate the pregnancy or to keep the child.
It's kind of an effective tool to shout all of this down. But Kimberly, you were at the Gosnell trial. I think it's unfortunate. I know that people can separate the idea of the safe and legal abortion compared to the selling of body parts. And remember, intact babies. And now we know that sometimes it's without consent. Legally, that is a problem.
Legally, morally, ethically, it's an outrage. And it should be something that we should all care about. Separate and differentiate the right of a woman to choose, which exists in this country, in the United States, under Roe v. Wade, and then safe and ethical practices that should be happening. But it's not just also the woman's rights and the woman's right to be free from being butchered, but what about the babies involved? And why wouldn't we want to avail ourselves of the science and of the facts out there, and when life actually begins, and when life is conceived, and when there is a heartbeat, where we've had listen to intelligent conversations by people like Dr. Ben Carson, who actually knows something about this. And I guess what we're trying to say is everybody benefits, women and children, by an intelligent, thoughtful discussion, and yes, sometimes an investigation, because there are doctors in this country that are performing late-term abortions, people like Dr. Gosnell, that are butchering live babies that were born, delivered outside of the womb, and actually were able to live and breathe on their own. That were killed.
Which would be against the law.
Yes, which was against the law, and he is serving life in prison without the possibility of parole, as he should, because he is in fact a murderer. You should be interested in that as well.
You want to weigh in here, Greg?
Well, this consent thing, we're talking about the consent of the woman having the abortion for allowing the fetal tissue to be used. I don't really think she should have consent. This is not an organ to be donated. You do not. You have. This is where you have to separate the pro-choice argument from this idea of fetal dismemberment. It's a dishonest leap to put them both together, to say that because I have a right to do this, I can also make a decision what to do with the cadaver. No, you don't. You can be it's like saying I'm pro-Second Amendment, which means I also have the right to shoot my gun wherever I want. No, you are for the right, but that doesn't allow you these other things. Basically, what we've done is we've relegated dead babies.
Are you saying that women should not have the ability to consent whether or not their aborted fetus can be used for research?
Yes, absolutely.
That's crazy.
How is that crazy?
That's crazy.
How is that crazy? Explain to me how is that crazy?
So I'm
to make yourself feel better.
I'm an 18-year-old rape victim.
To make yourself feel better.
I'm an 18-year-old rape victim.
I know you're going to use the rape.
Or incest
I am not against abortion for rape or incest.
And
let's get that on the table.
And you're saying that the person who aborts with my fetus has the right to decide without asking me what to do with it?
There is a difference. You cannot use.
What if I want to make it dog food?
You can't. Yeah, that's you just proved my point. If you want to make a dog food, what's the difference? You are repurposing the unborn child to enhance your present living desires, and that you do not have the choice for. And in terms of bringing up rape and incest, when did I say I was against abortion for that? You were using that as a straw man argument.
Why is that any less hideous to you? Why? It's still the same. You're taking away a life. Why is that any less hideous?
Let me get this straight. Because you don't want the fetus to go to waste, right?
I want a cure for cancer. I want a cure for heart disease and Parkinson's disease.
At any cost.
Alzheimer's.
At any cost.
That's what I want.
God bless you. I hope you live long on the backs of dead fetuses, Geraldo.
Please.
No, I'm using your argument. I'm validating your argument. You want to live longer on the backs of fetuses.
Why don't you bury your head in the sand and ignore the reality of how medicine gets done, how research gets done?
I look at the videos.
Actually, I think that's unfair. Remember, the Federalist piece, I keep referring you to the Amy Otto piece. There's others about how fetal research is actually, you can grow the cells in a lab without having to do this.
Geraldo, can we just please stop attaching all abortion to what Planned Parenthood is doing that's A, illegal, B, disgusting, and C, unethical?
Well, I don't know what the facts are, Eric. I know that the people who
that would be a start. Find out the facts.
Well, you don't know them any better than I.
That's why
you don't know them.
I know the moral underpinnings of your argument.
And their
moral underpinnings of your argument
are illegally obtained.
Your arguments are
highly edited
by a selfish human desire. You are a selfish human being because you want to live
until what you say, 1988.
You want to live. You want to live longer.
You were selfish until 1988. You want to live longer, and then you had your eureka moment.
That's actually not what Greg said yesterday. But you know what? We got to go.